Thank you for attending the Week of Kindness. Coming up next is another powerful, impactful, amazing speaker. Get your notepad out, get your pen. Let's get ready and enjoy.
Hey everyone, welcome. We are here with a really, really good friend. And oh my gosh, Jen, we've been on so many marketers cruises together and so many events together. And every time we've been roomies.
We've been roomies.
We've been
on
roomies.
other events in Miami.
So guys, I want to introduce you to my personal good friend, Jen Plessis. But more important than that, I want you to know what a wonderful life she has led and how important she really is, because you need to know that Jen is one of the most successful women I've ever met. And in spite of all of our lives and problems and things going on, every time I turn around, Jen has a good word of hope to me. She's always trying to let me know that she's there for me if I need anything. And, friends like that, you cannot buy.
Aww.
They are amazing. They are lovable. So let's get down to business, Jen Plessis. What do you think?
I think that sounds great. I can't stand it anymore. My head's going to pound out of here. I know. No, thank you. But, you're be a friend too. I mean, that's what's so good. And we have faith-based, kindred spirits. And I think that helps as well.
So you're affectionately known as the Impact Mentor, Jen. And you know what? I really do see that, because you're referred to as the leading expert in creating world-class teams. And I love that because, of course, I own the World Class Mentors, my podcast. So you're just like, turn the key, walk in. Jen believes that it's time to move from working in and on your business to working above and beyond your business. So while you live your legacy, while you're building it, Jen, that is my introduction to you. I'm going to have you take it away and tell us what you're liking about the Week of Kindness and Gratitude.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yeah. The whole idea behind a week in kindness, I know that, the intent is to be kind to other people. And I love that. I absolutely love that. It's called the platinum rule, by the way. It's not the golden rule. Everyone uses the golden rule of do unto others as they would have you do unto them. But the platinum rule is do unto others the way that they would like you to do unto them. And it's knowing what triggers people in a good, positive way. But the other part of kindness that I'm going to be talking about today is being kind to yourself. My mom had a quote that she said all the time, which is that we flatter those we scarcely know. We please the fleeting guests, but we deal many a thoughtless blow to those we love the best. And that's the people around us, that's ourselves. And, so when I think of the Week of Kindness, I think an external version and an internal version as well, is that we have to be kind to ourselves and stop comparing ourselves to other people. And I think that becomes the thief of joy when you compare yourself to other people. So,
I absolutely love that. That's wisdom. That's wisdom that comes of ages. And it's so true because, I have visited some of my own kids and said, wow, she's really nice and friendly and fun to all of her friends. And then I come visit and I'm like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't be.
And I'm sure that you've done that too. And, that's the thing. And I say that quote / prayer every day because I have to be reminded too, we take everyone so for granted around us. And yet we just please all these other people. And I think that it includes ourselves. It's not, because we'll do everything for everybody else, and then not have the good eating habits, not sleep well. We don't say no, we say yes to keep the peace. We don't work out, we don't take care of ourselves. So I just feel that, when I think of the Week of Kindness, it's kindness all around us. It's a big bubble of kindness.
You're right. And good begets good, I think. And that's what I've loved the most about this, because I've had such a variety of speakers, just like you have on your TV show and on your regular show and on your podcast show, that we're going to talk about here in a minute. But everybody has this wonderful story, and when they deliver it and you get behind the front door, you get to move your
Mhm.
pieces, your chess pieces to the middle of the board. It's when you really start understanding and finding out more and more at a deeper level of about your friends and even your family. It's getting them away from the intro down into the deep recesses of
Yeah,
who they really are. And
yeah,
and I love that about Week of Kindness is we really get to see beyond just a facade. So
right.
so Jen, I first of all I want to celebrate with you because you launch stuff like monthly. What are you up to right now?
Well, a girl's got to make some money. Um, you know, I know. Well, I have something going on all the time. I mean, and it's part of my strategy, my marketing plan, and all my dates are set for the whole year. And so we have a mastermind retreat coming up in February, the end of February, down in Orlando. And I call it a mastermind retreat because I believe that mindset plus mechanics equals momentum. So I feel like you need to have a little of both. You can't just be all woo woo and expect results, and you can't be an excellent technician of your craft, but then not have the right mindset to make it happen. So that's what we're going to be doing at Make Your Mark, my mastermind, where you can go out and make your mark in the world. And we're doing that at the end of February. And then we have a virtual 3-day event called Limitless. And that is at the end of March. And then it goes on and on and on and on and on. We have a lot of things going on. And of course, the TV show is always going on. And we're releasing a new volume 2 of my book, Impact, which you're going to be part of, where we do acronyms. Yeah. And Impact stands for inspiring. I am inspiring, motivational, powerful acronyms for cognitive thinking. So it's just very short chapters of acronyms that people are using, whether it's health or spiritual or business or funny, and not words. It can be words or letters. And it's just to inspire people. And I found that I used the first one that we did. I open it up once a week just to a random page, and I go, and I look up and I go, God, how did you know I needed this one today? It's amazing how that happens.
I love it. We call
Amazing.
it, we make it happen. It's so true. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm really enjoying this because one of the when you and I first met way back, what, 3, 4, 5 years ago,
Yeah.
I was
5
just
years ago with
yeah.
Mon. Hmm.
Exactly. And I was trying to come up with, the very first thing that most emerging speakers go through is I have no clarity. I don't know what I'm selling. I
Right.
don't know what I'm
Right.
good at. I've done so many jobs in my last 40, 50 years that I'm a master of none, but I'm really good at a bunch, right? So what do I do? How do I create? And that's like the number, and I'm sure you see that because mindset is like step one, right? Step one in
Yeah.
putting your whole package
Well, I
together.
didn't think it was. Yeah, I didn't think it was. I mean, I came from 40, well, I'll be celebrating 40 years March 1st being in the financial services industry because I coach loan officers, mortgage loan officers, and that's the business I was in. And so when I came out of that, even though I was an international speaker at that time, and one of the top speakers in the mortgage space, I knew what I was speaking about because I was teaching people how to duplicate the success that I had had, funding over $1 billion in loans and all of that. So when I became a speaker full time, I didn't realize that I needed more mindset. So that was my journey as well. Being in financial services and especially being a woman, I had a coat of armor, that was just, I don't need any help. I've got it. Even though I would cry about it, I got it, and I think that once I had that realization, I went to a bunch of retreats with with Allison and Gerald Rogers, and I got introduced to woo, right? I love them, but I go, the last time I went, I said, okay, this retreat was the edge. I'm not going further with this. Now that's a little too much for me, but it opened up my eyes, and I'm grateful for that because it opened up that, wow, there is another aspect, and no wonder. And I was kind of like walking with a peg leg because I was leaning so much on the mechanics and not the mindset. So I think it is really important, but it took a while. Took a while.
And you know, along with that, when you and I first met, we were trying to put stuff together and bring it all in, and trying to learn what I call from the bros, you know, the Russells, the Tonys, the you know,
Yeah.
all of these fantastic speakers that fill stadiums, and you know, I'd be happy with a room of 100, you know. So
Right.
so
Right.
so
Right.
putting the reason I'm even bringing this up is because your acronym is so important on impact. Because the very first program that I put together and my first book was Act Two, Your Show Must Go On. And ACT was an acronym, right, for accountability and community and transformation. You
Oh
know,
my
and
gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't we
which
all
were
live in acronym worlds? I mean, we come up with
total.
them.
Are you kidding? I'm an ex-geek.
Yeah.
IBM, Microsoft. Are you kidding?
Well, I'm in lending, right? GFE, VOE, CD. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Away.
yeah. I can still tell you what TCP/IP stands for. Come on.
Right. That's all.
But it's true, and I you know, I find myself telling our emerging, because I have three levels of people that I work with, right? The emerging speaker and the experienced speaker, and then of course the experts who want just nothing but talent representation, which is where I think you go.
Mhm.
But here's what I find is the emerging speaker is usually, let me see, for lack of a better way to say this, I speak to a lot of professionals, for example, doctors and lawyers who've been speaking all their life. And the moment they know what I do and that I own a speakers bureau, they're like, "Hey, put me in. I can talk on any stage. I've been talking all my life." And my first response is, "Oh no, you're not. You're not ready. I'm sorry, you're just not ready." And I back that up with the story of, it's taken me 50, 60 years to get the contacts that I have on network television, on Good Morning America, on the local Good Morning Americas, you know, from Univision to NBC, ABC, CBS, right? If they call me and say, "I need a guest who's an expert at this," and I send them the wrong person and they can't talk in 5 minutes, which is usually the most you'll ever get, right? They'll never call
In
me
sound
again.
bite.
Yeah, yeah, they will never call me
Yeah.
again, and I refuse to lose that connection because I didn't get them the right speaker. So I need to make sure. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to tell people, stop, you know, you've got to go through my training. No, none of that. I just want to make sure that you can
Yeah.
handle it so that we both look good, right?
Yeah.
And so that's
I
where I'm
think
at.
yeah, I think what people don't understand about that, because I had to walk through that too. You know, I've been speaking for 35, 40, you know, almost 40 years now. But there's a difference when you're in the corporate world. It's not the speaking on stage speaking, it's training. And there's a difference between a trainer who speaks and a speaker who speaks to inspire, transform, motivate, whatever word you want to use. There's a completely different strategy with that, and you know, and that's part of my process, you know, over the last X amount of years, you know, trying to figure it out. And I think that's where the difference comes from. I'm thankful because I've always spoken in short little bites. I always have acronyms. I
Yeah.
always have sayings. I always have crazy little ways for people. And I'm a real big comparison girl. Like I use, you know, don't work with people that work with people that complement, not complicate. Are you in demand or are you on demand? You know, I have 78 of those, I think I'm up to now, these different comparisons that allow me to explain different strategies, you know, in business or mindset as a result of these little comparisons that I'm always doing. And my husband can't stand it. He's like, "Ah, here we go again. Another one." Yep. Another one. Yep.
Yeah, but okay, so let me ask you this. So you are actually speaking on some of these components, and I don't, you know, I want you to go for it. Let's just get started. Tell people what you know the title of your talk is, and it's got these little components in it, and it's got these little
Yeah.
mastermind golden nuggets. So guys, get your pencils and paper out, you know, or your Otter AI or whatever you do to take notes. And
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the show over to Jen. Go ahead, Jen.
Well, thanks. That's so nice of you. Well, yeah, I mean, what I wanted to talk about today and what I typically talk about as my signature talk, depending, again, it depends on the crowd. You know how it is. We all can have, an hour talk or make it a 5-minute version of it. But what I love talking about is the 5 keys to rapid success. And I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I'm a doer, I'm an action taker. That's why I have the word impact everywhere. One of my podcasts is called Success to Significance, Life After Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. So I'm encouraging people to break through glass ceilings all the time, and take that action. And so I'm obsessed with trying to understand, and I do understand it now, but understanding why so many people get stalled in making 5 figures and can't make it to 6, or are 6 and can't make it to 7, or a 7 and can't make it to 8, right? And there are these 5 keys that I believe, and that I've looked at and I've studied, that I think are the reason why this is happening. So whether you're making 5 figures or 7 figures, you still want to listen in, because what I found is that everyone can do all of these things a little bit, or some of these things really well, but it's the people that really, really become successful that can do all of these very, very well. So that said, number 1 is you need to know where you are currently. So often people don't do an annual assessment, right? Of where am I at? Where am I standing right now? And if we look at the 4 stages of growth: formulation, concentration, momentum, and stability. And technically, if you go online, there's a 5th stage and it's called success. I don't like including that there because this is a journey, not a destination. So a destination, a destination is, when am I going to get there? When am I going to get there? A journey is, we're just living life. This is why I say live your legacy while you're building it. So you look at your business and say, where am I as a business? Am I in that formulation, concentration, momentum, or stability? But then you got to break down everything. Maybe you're in momentum, but from social media, you're still in formulation. Maybe you're in formulation with trying to figure out what your signature talk is. Maybe you're in momentum in a different area, but you need to see where you are in all areas so that you have clarity of where you are now, so that you know where you can go. And that's priority management. It's not time management, it's priority management. So people who make 5 figures believe that they're running in the right direction. And a lot of times they're in the wrong direction because they're not taking the time. What I know is that 7-figure people know exactly where they're at all the time in the different modalities of their practice. And imagine, and I'm sure many that are watching, I have 4 businesses. So I not only have where am I at in each business, but then where am I at in each segment of each one of those businesses, so that I'm really clear on what I need to move forward with, what I'm steady with, what I need to start formulating. And I think that this is the number 1 reason, is that most people don't know where they're at. And those that do and are successful, they know exactly where they're at. So that's number 1. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to ask a question?
Oh, no, keep going, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 2 is build a team. So most people think they can do it alone, that nobody can do it better than them. But I hate to tell you, but there's this thing called the law of diminishing return. And so when you have 1 or 2 clients, you can handle everything. As soon as you have 5, 6, 7, 10, 50, 100 clients, you cannot handle it alone. And in fact, I've heard people say, well, no one can do it as good as me. And I say, yes, they can, because when you start hiring more people, or you have more clients, you start the law of diminishing return. And so it's better to hire someone who can do it 1% better than you than for you to let the holes, fall through, things fall through the holes, the cracks. So what I know is that a 7-figure earner, they don't go it alone. And they know that building a world-class team, I'm not talking about a mirror test, I'm talking about bringing only the best on, bringing that world-class team will get you to your results faster, much, much faster. And I think the adage here is that people think that they have infinite time, and we don't. You can work 80 hours a week for a while, right? But we don't have infinite time. We don't have infinite energy. But if you hire 1 person working 40 hours a week, you have 40 more hours of extra production per week. That's just that week. So you can go it alone and take 5 years to accomplish what you can accomplish in 5 months by hiring just one single person. And that's what seven-figure people know, is that they have limitless time when it comes to hiring. I could hire 10 people and have 400 hours a week, and time becomes limitless. So if you're saying, I don't have time to do something, that's your key. So that's number 2. So we have know where you are currently, build a team, and now we'll go to hiring advisors. What I know is that 5-figure earners tend to think that advisors and mentors are too expensive, or they're not far enough along in their business to engage with one. But 7-figure earners know that when they surround themselves with mentors, being in masterminds, as I just mentioned, or having people, coaching people, is that the sky's the limit. They can get there faster. And what we don't realize is that the expense and time that it takes to accomplish something on our own, over that period of time, is much more expensive than if you paid for a mastermind, or you paid for a mentor, and you would get there twice as fast and make gobs more money in the future. So that's number 3. So number 4 is growing a community. I believe that 5-figure people are always chasing the shiny object syndrome. We've heard that before. The acronym is SOS, right? We've heard that before. And SOS is help. I need something. So I'm grabbing at straws, right? Just throw me a bone, just throw me something. And we run around chasing all of these shiny objects and never digging in and knowing and tracking whether or not what we're doing is getting the results. What I know about 7-figure people is that they are all about relationships. They're all about their community, creating a revolving door of opportunities through their referral partners and their clients. And that when they build that big team, they can get to more of them much, much easier. So that's how we're going to get relationships, not putting on our binoculars looking for the next lead, but rather looking at our acres of diamonds right underneath us. And so often we're stepping over them, we're crunching them. And if we would just pick up one of those diamonds, one of those people we already know, polish it up, and watch the ripple effect that it can do in our business, we'd be much more successful faster. All right, number 5. I talk fast. Hope your notes are good.
I love it. I love it.
Number five, last one is systems. And I know people don't like it, but I'm going to remind everybody about the acronym of systems as well, because this has been around for a long time, but it stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. That's what a system does. I know that what I know is that 5-figure people don't have follow-up systems, right? They may have something, but they may not be doing it correctly. It may be random acts of follow-up. What I know is that 7-figure people have multiple systems. They work multiple systems and strategies and process in tons of areas. So whether it's prospecting or active clients or passive clients or referral partners, they have a system for everything, and they get it to the point where they can automate it. They know who, they know what, they know where, they know when, why, right? And that is the key to success. So lack of follow-up systems versus having a follow-up system will get you to the next level. And as I said before, I know everyone can do some of these, and I know a lot of people will do one of these really well. The question is, if you do 5 of these super, super well, you're going to have so much more rapid success than you have today. So what are you waiting for, right? I always say, work on purpose so you can go play with passion. Stop goofing around all day.
I love your sayings, Jen. We just need to have a book of 10 sayings.
I know, just little things, yeah. Because I think what people are doing is all these activities are like eating soup with a fork, right? We're exhausted at the end of the day. We're not fulfilled. We've just gone through the motions. These are 5 simple things that if you do them well, you learn them well, your business is going to ignite. So that's what I have.
No. You guys, I hope you grabbed all of that. And you know what? You can get replays of this. And by the way, guys, if you want access to all of the speakers on the Week of Kindness, and all you've got to do is upgrade your free ticket to a $97 VIP pass. And not only do you have access to all these recordings for a year, you have access to the VIP gifts, which are even better than the general gifts. So if you want access to over $45,000 worth of gifts, please upgrade your ticket. And Jen, talking about gifts, let's talk about yours.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Okay. So this is called, I know it doesn't have a fancy name. It's called 7 Strategies to Change Your Business Mindset. I mean, that's really it. 7 strategies to change your business mindset. And each one of these strategies are thought-provoking questions. There are things like, what are you comfortable with? Have you looked and thought, hey, I'm really comfortable sitting in my little box here. And I'm not the kind of person that says, hey, let's take you out of your box and get uncomfortable. I believe in stretching your box in certain areas so that you have a bigger scope. So it's looking and saying, okay, what am I too comfortable with and what do I need to change? Because we know growth happens when you get a little uncomfortable. Defining your core values, both in personal and business. I think you need core values for both. Do you know your core values? And this is I was going to say reticular activator. It's not. It's a question that you don't need to answer right now. I can't think of the name, but is, do you have core values? Are you very clear? Could you name them off right now, that these are your non-negotiables in person and your non-negotiables in business? And then are you setting boundaries around those? Right. Setting boundaries around those core values, examining your circle of influence, right? Am I with the right people today? As I said earlier, am I surrounding myself with people that complement and not complicate me, my practice, my life? And we have to remember that I always look at business as, a ladder against a wall. Every rung is a different level of business, whether it's a mindset step up or a financial step up, you're still moving up that ladder of life. And the people that you dealt with on the lower rungs may not be the same people you need to be working with on the higher rungs, unless, of course, you're a barrel of monkeys and you can stretch that far. But you have to make sure that your team grows with you, or you're going to have to find new people on your team, new mentors to surround yourself with. So it's just an analysis of all that. It's a complimentary PDF that gives you the opportunity to get your head on straight, quite frankly. And then what we're going to be doing is we're offering a 7-week online course, but there will be some Q&A, some live Q&A where actually, I think I'm administering the whole thing live, where we're going to go through these 7 deeper and deeper and deeper in these 7 strategies. And this is a $24.97. It's typically the value is $24.97, and we typically sell this for $9.97. But for the Week of Kindness, we're giving this opportunity to everyone to enroll for just $297. So we hope everyone hops on and for the next 6 weeks works on the mindset of their life and their business and their practice.
I love it. Thank you so much. $297, guys. That's like 10% of the value of this program. So thank you.
But it's all about kindness, right? It's all about giving.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So you've delivered your 5 systems. You've delivered your wonderful gift, the 7 strategies. And then we've got the VIP gift. Jen, I like my speakers to make the offer for people to work with you. If you guys know that this is the right person for you, you've got that feeling, you've got that sensation, this is someone you want to learn more about. Jen, what is your offer today?
Yeah, the best way to work with me is through a mastermind. That is the best way, because you get all of my expertise, regardless of what, your challenges and struggles might be. And I'm a certified mastermind leader because I went in that direction because so many people use the word mastermind so loosely. And I went to an event, I'll leave it unnamed. I went to an event thinking it was a mastermind, and it was just a big pitch fest by the person who put it together. Well, that's the workshop or a seminar. So this is a true mastermind, and the best way to work with me is, so I have a mastermind called the Executive Council Mastermind, and it's a great way to dip your toe in. Now, Make Your Mark is much bigger. The one that we're having in February is a mastermind retreat. So it's not part of that program. It's just a retreat. But Make Your Mark is a high level. So, have a conversation with me and we can figure out what one works best. But Executive Council is just $1,000 a year or $100 a month. And we meet every month. And you get access to my network, to my celebrity friends, to my celebrity business friends, to all the knowledge that I have in business, but not on me, but everyone else who's a part of that. And you'll get counsel for people that have been where you want to go and vice versa. And so, this is, to me, a no-brainer. It's just a no-brainer, but that's what the offer is. And if someone wants to do that, we'll be happy to provide the link, or just go to chatwithjen.com, chatwithjen.com. And I'm a 1N Jen. Okay. Chatwithjen.com and schedule a complimentary conversation with me. And let's just see where I can help you. I'm here to serve. I'm here to love on you. I'm here to help. I'd love that opportunity.
And I love it. So Chat with Jen, guys, that's it. Chatwithjen with 1N.com and explore what Jen has to offer. Jen, I can't thank you enough again to be a part of the Week of Kindness. I feel like you're home. So
yeah.
Thank you all so much. And please take advantage of what Jen has to offer. She is absolute gold. And I just love you. Thank you so much.
Well,
Any last words for all of our listeners?
Let me leave you with a quote from Les Brown. I was fortunate to be on his speaking faculty for a period of time and before COVID. And he has tons of quotes that I love, but I'll leave you with this one today. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Take action on everything that you're hearing from all of these wonderful and beautiful speakers that are giving you all of these resources and tools. Take action to make your business different this year than it was in years before.
That's it. Move up. Move up.
Move on up.
Move on up to the east side. All right, everyone. Jen, como siempre, I love you. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Wow. I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did. Thank you so much for all of that great information. Hey, we're not done yet, so just relax. We're going to continue on with our next speaker in just a few moments.